Have you ever wondered who Jura really is? Hidari's original is Sasuke, Mamushi's is Bug, and so on. But who exactly is Jura? The manga gives us the answer. It was actually shown back in chapter 2. This background character who saves Sarada. His hairstyle is identical to Jura's, shaved on the sides and left long on top. If you compare manga panels, their hairstyles match perfectly. Even their facial features are similar. But how is this character connected to Naruto? Why, after receiving the genes of a nameless background character, is Jura able to fly? As we know, the Ten Tails doesn't possess such a unique ability, and Code's genes, which contain the power of Shibai, only awakened the space warping technique within the Ten Tails, the same technique all the Shinju clones use. Code himself cannot fly. So why can Jura? The author drops hints as to why Jura, who has the appearance of a background character, desires to absorb Naruto and can fly. These hints even show up in chapter 24, where the arc in the Land of Sand concludes. Kawaki didn't just regain his power, which had been sealed all this time, he also helped Boruto. If not for him, the protagonist would have died at Jura's hands. Now the new arc is about to begin, the mission to rescue Shinki. In the previous chapter, we already saw what's coming. Inojin's team heads to the location where Gaara was imprisoned in order to free Shinki. These events came through Kashin Koji's vision, so subtle they were barely noticed. Among those visions was Mamushi, and in the new chapter, we learn he's beginning to move to capture his target, Ida. So soon we'll see Demon's abilities, but that's all in the future. I assume you've already read the chapter, so let's get back to Jura. Specifically, who is he really? If you've watched my videos, then you already know we've gone over this many times, but let me remind you, after Ishiki was defeated, Code decided to split the Ten Tails, and succeeded. As a result, hybrid parts of the Ten Tails emerged, which Code could control using his genes inherited from Shibai. But those very genes caused the Ten Tails' consciousness to begin evolving. Its instincts concentrated into new, smaller forms, more human-like. The split-off beasts would bite people and envelop them in tree roots, gaining access to their knowledge and genes. These genes further awakened the Ten Tails' consciousness. The more people it absorbed, the more new genes the tree acquired. 3 years after the split, Code attacked the hidden leaf. At that moment, the Ten Tails' consciousness began to become self-aware. One of the beasts developed a Rinnegan. It even said the word Otsutsuki upon seeing Kawaki, and then attacked him. Only hours later, the Ten Tails fully evolved. 4 new forms were created, one of which was Jura, with the face of that background character. He is considered the first and main body of the Ten Tails. Here's the coincidence. It was right after the attack on Kawaki by that beast, one that resembled Jura, that full evolution occurred. That might suggest this beast absorbed some of Kawaki's genes. That completed the evolution, along with the other shinobi who had already been absorbed. Why do I believe this? First, Bug. He was turned into a tree before the time skip, as far as we can tell. From him, Mamushi was born. Second, Sasuke. He was bitten and turned into a tree about a year after his journey with Boruto. Hidari emerged from him, but none of these Shinju were created earlier. All of them appeared only after one of the Ten Tails parts attacked Kawaki and called him Otsutsuki. This hints that the final piece of evolution was Kawaki's genes. They were the foundation for Jura's appearance and abilities. Chapter 24 hints at this too, but let's first look at other similarities. First, Jura is the only Shinju clone who can fly. He likely received unique genes. Kawaki can also fly. Second, Jura's appearance resembles not only the background character, but also Kawaki himself. His hairstyle, the same shaved sides and top-heavy look, is identical. Third, all Shinju clones are drawn to the people who were important to their originals. Hidari wants to absorb Sarada because Sasuke loved his daughter. Mamushi seeks out Ada due to Bug's feelings for her. Matsuri obsessed over Konohamaru because Moigi loved the third Hokage's grandson. Ryu targeted Gaara because Shinki considered him his father and wanted to protect him. And then there's Jura, the embodiment of the Ten Tails. Not exactly like Kawaki in appearance, but like a background character who now seeks to absorb the Hokage. Why? We've been given a hint. In an interview, Ikemoto was asked, "How are the Shinju clones' personalities formed? They don't seem to reflect their originals." Ikemoto answered that every person has 2 sides, the one they show the world and the one they keep hidden. He added, that might be a hint about the true personality of the original. His words suggest that the Shinju consciousness reflects the hidden self of their originals. And here's the clue we see in the chapter. Jura talks with Kawaki about love, trying to understand what it is and whether it's necessary. He then says he wants to see if he can understand love by absorbing the 7th. Kawaki responds that he doesn't care about love, but praises the Ten Tails for showing interest in Naruto. Their conversation ends with Jura thanking him. Later, back at the hideout, Jura even boasts to Hidari that Kawaki praised him. Why is this important? Thanks to Ikemoto's words, we know that a Shinju's personality is the original's hidden self. Jura's obsession with understanding love perfectly reflects Kawaki's suppressed nature. Since childhood, Kawaki tried to understand what love is, how it makes people act, and how it makes them stronger. Only after meeting the Hokage did Kawaki reveal that deep down, he had always sought love. But later, he buried that part of himself again, focusing only on one goal, to protect Naruto. So Jura's quest to comprehend love is a mirror of the part of Kawaki he hides from others. From this, this, we can conclude that Jura is just a vessel with the face of a background character. He's different from Hidari and the others. His thorned soul, if he has one, behaves strangely. He has all of Kawaki's traits, but the appearance of a nameless NPC. And you can't just beat Jura. To stop this character, you'd have to defeat the main body of the Ten Tails itself. Jura is merely a created clone that uses the power of the divine tree, and within him resides the Ten Tails consciousness. His regeneration is proof of that. I think you've already noticed that the Shinju's regeneration is different from that of ordinary people. They heal through the divine tree, which forms their flesh. The same happened with Jura in the latest battle. Even though Kawaki dealt him significant damage, Jura summoned the roots of the divine tree, fully restoring his original form. He's not just an opponent, he's the Ten Tails with remote control over his body. You could compare him to Nagato, where Jura is like pain, a puppet controlled from afar. Since the tree's roots have spread across nearly the entire planet, its main body could be anywhere, and the only one who knows the location of the actual tree is Code. So who is Jura really? Just a wooden puppet with Kawaki's genes? Or a thorn soul formed from a nameless extra who inherited the greater part of the Ten Tails consciousness, chakra, and abilities? He has Shibai's genes thanks to Code, and that's not even mentioning how the Ten Tails is created, which I'll cover in a separate video. And most likely, he also has Kawaki's genes, who is also an Otsutsuki, and those genes might grant access to Kawaki's powers. But why would Jura need them? It's all because of Naruto, who is sealed in another dimension that can't be accessed easily unless one has the same abilities as Kawaki, or unless Code's claw marks are placed on Kawaki, and Jura uses them to enter once Kawaki returns there. So in the battle we saw in chapter 24, the embodiment of the Ten Tails didn't even show his true potential. He only stopped searching for the seventh because he believed Naruto was dead. However, now he knows that this is not so, and if he does in fact have Kawaki's genes, then the seventh is in danger. That's precisely why Jura is considered one of the most dangerous enemies right now, because you can't simply defeat him. You have to destroy the Ten Tails itself, and that's not so easy. We still don't have a definitive answer on who Jura truly is, because the author keeps hinting that he's deeply connected to Kawaki. At the same time, his thorn soul belongs to a random background character who was never explored, and we don't even know how he felt about the seventh. But one thing is clear, the Shinju are enemies only for now. There's a chance they might switch sides in the future. That might sound strange and impossible right now, but their personalities are still forming. They don't fully understand what good or evil is. The Ten Tails itself wants to understand love, so it's possible the Shinju might turn good. I'm certain that the true main villain of this arc will be a completely different character. Even Matsuri is starting to question her instincts and her loyalty to Jura. If Konohamaru had just accepted being called Konohamaru-chan and allowed her to love him, if he had treated her kindly and shown her what compassion is, Matsuri would have fought for him and protected him from any threat. So the personalities of the Shinju are still undetermined. Right now, the best way for Jura to understand love might be through Jiraiya's book. I think he'd learn a lot from it. But joking aside, I'll be waiting for you in the comments. I really want to hear your thoughts about what to expect from the manga in the future. Good luck to everyone.